I'm going to play you this video and we're going to come back and talk about it.
So I want to let y'all know about the privilege I have. So between my two jobs, I worked 32 hours straight, no sleep. Went home, got 4 hours of sleep. Then yesterday, worked from 8 to 4:30. Had to go play with my granddaughter. And then was back in there from 11 to 9 this morning. Went home, got 4 hours of sleep. Now I'm going right back in there from 3 to 11. Tell me more about my white privilege.
Another white man that doesn't understand white privilege. Consider my flabbers gasted. Whatever it is you did in life to get you to the point where you have to work all of these hours to keep a roof over your head, whatever decisions you made that got you to that point has nothing to do with white privilege. Just because you got to bust your ass doesn't mean you're not privileged. I had to bust my ass too. I spent more than my fair share of time out there shoveling rock, and digging holes, planting trees, and leveling ground by hand. 12 tons of decorative rock in one day, wheelbarrows, front yard to backyard, me and one other guy. That's just one day out of the 26-year career I had busting my ass in order to make it as well. But that's not what white privilege is about. See, white privilege is about the fact that when I was busting my ass and I was looking to move up, I was a laborer on a crew looking to become a working foreman. I was given the job of working foreman ahead of some of the other laborers who busted their ass as hard, if not harder than I did, and who had been there longer with more experience than I had, because I was white, because I was American, because I spoke English. And then when I wanted to go from working foreman to superintendent that supervised 2 or 3 crews, I was given that promotion over Hispanic workers that had been there longer, had more experience, and knew more about the industry than I did. Why? Because I was white and spoke English. Tom, that's just your perception. No, motherfucker, that's what I was told. You're getting this job because the customers want to talk to a white guy that speaks English. And when I moved from superintendent to project manager, and I went from supervising a couple of crews to supervising multiple crews over an entire region and overseeing $6.5 million worth of landscaping a year, I got that position over people. One of the people that I was supervising had been with that company for years and was their go-to problem solver because he had forgotten more about landscaping than a lot of people will ever know. I became his project manager. Why? I was white. I spoke English. Customers wanted to talk to me, not him. That's white privilege. Here's an example of white privilege. If you got pulled over in that car you're driving in, you could do things in your interaction with your police officer, the officer that pulled you over, that somebody of color couldn't do. You could, in a moment of chatting with the officer, just suddenly reach for your glove compartment to get something, or pull something down, or reach up on your center console without having that cop, at a minimum, touch his gun, if not pull it. A person of color wouldn't be able to do that in most scenarios without that cop freaking out. In most scenarios, that's white privilege. The fact that if you, as a black person, a black family, market your house today as is, you clean it up, you put it on the market, and your real estate agent shows it, and you get appraisals and whatnot, what have you, it appraises for and lists on the market for less than if a white person had marked it up. Tom, how do you know? Because they've done these experiments in city after city after city where they have listed a house with more ethnocentric art and images of black families on the wall, and that got an appraisal for it. then completely swapped out the art, completely swapped out the pictures to make it look like a white family lives there, and then got appraisals, and the appraisals were always higher for the houses that look like a white person owned it than if a black person owned it. That's white privilege. White privilege is a bank being more willing to lend to you because of your skin color. White privilege is people not being afraid when they see you walk down the street, not clutching their purse a little bit tighter, not crossing the street when they see you come. That's white privilege. It's got nothing to do with whether or not you got to bust your ass. Those are your own personal decisions. You're pissed off because your personal decisions got you to a point where you have to work around the fucking clock in order to keep a roof over your head. Those are your personal decisions. That's got nothing to do with privilege or not privilege. Go through your company, though. Is there somebody of color down there in your company that maybe has been there a hot minute, that can't move up? You see it across the board. I don't understand why this is such a difficult concept. You want to see white privilege? Look up the footage of a black man carrying an assault rifle through a town and the people's response to it, including the police in that town's response to it, versus a white man doing it. Look up some of those videos on YouTube when you have a moment. Or on TikTok, whatever the fuck you want to look it up on. I don't really give a shit what platform you look it up on. You'll see the same goddamn thing. Cops stop the white guy and have a conversation. Hey, man, everything okay? Going through some things? You're not going to be a danger, are you? No? Okay. The black guy? Hey, what's going on, man? Put the fucking gun down. What are you doing? You can't just be walking through here with a gun. That's white privilege. White privilege is getting a loan easier. White privilege is getting the job, getting the next. And there are people will come into the comment section and go, Tom, now black people get into college easier. No, they're just leveling the playing field after decades and decades and decades of them not being able to get into schools, of them being overlooked still to this day. Why the fuck do you think there's something in the NFL called the Rooney Rule? Because at one point in time, Rooney wouldn't even interview people of color. White privilege. It's got nothing to do with your shitty life decisions, man.